Yo, so Sony Animation has been releasing bangers for the last few years, with their live action projects like their Spidey Villain Cinematic Universe thingy, which I still don't know what their plans were that in the first place. They made up for it in the animation department, though it didn't start out like that in the beginning. Trust me, they had their flops. But they bounced back and created what I would consider some of the greatest animated movies we've seen in recent history. And the one that started it all was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, an absolute trendsetter. When it was announced that Sony Pictures Animation was working on a Spider-Man movie, the expectations weren't high for Sony, and in all honesty, people weren't wrong for feeling that way. Sony's repertoire in the animation department was very inconsistent up until that point. Sure, they had some decent projects like Surf's Up and Cloud with a Chance of Meatballs, which were good, but the rest were nothing to write home about. But that all changed with this movie. Nobody expected how hard Sony was gonna go in making this movie. Into the Spider-Verse blew away expectations with how beautiful to the eye it was. With things like changes in frame rates, comic book tones, and lovely graffiti textures, it was filled with stylized and visual breakthroughs that no one has seen before in modern animation up till that point. And this created a cultural phenomenon in animation, with animators around the world getting inspired by this style of animation. Instead of worrying about making their films look more realistic, like some studios, they focus on making their films as fun and stylized as possible. Thus, many more great films were released. Sony was back again swinging in with Mitchell's vs. the Machines, a heartfelt movie that focuses on the importance of family. From Netflix, we got Intergalactic, a beautiful and vibey film with its world entranced by music and imagery. Then Nickelodeon and Paramount Pictures gave us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which gave us a fresh look at the turtle gang we all know in this heavily stylized and beautiful film. And of course, in 2023, we got the long-awaited sequel to Into the Spider-Verse in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, a film that defied all odds by living up to its predecessor and in some ways surpassing it, being even more ambitious and adventurous in the animation and art style. And not to mention the storytelling being very compelling and having you at the edge of the seat from start to finish. And it is without a doubt one of the best sequel movies that we've ever gotten in cinema history. And just recently, in collaboration with Netflix, Sony released K-pop Demon Hunters, which influenced me in making this video in the first place. K-pop Demon Hunters released just a few weeks ago on Netflix. It didn't have the most anticipation, and the promotion for it wasn't that crazy. Heck, I didn't even know it was a thing until I watched it. But it's safe to say it surprised me and the rest of the world. As the title points to, the premise of this movie is quite unique and out there. It's about a trio of K-pop stars who by day form the K-pop group Huntrix, but when demons attack, they become demon hunters. Sony turned this weird and frankly unexpected concept into an absolute blast over time. The protagonists Rumi, Mira, and Zoe are hilarious and lovable and feel like real friends. The villains are deliciously hateable, and the music is insanely good, which is due to the fact that they brought in the popular K-pop group twice to do the music for this film. The movie was just so fun, and it was made in a way that it opens up the opportunity to explore this world and its history in a potential franchise. And as good as Sony made this movie, this is only one of the exciting original animated movies Sony has on their slate that we should all be excited for. Even though Sony Pictures Animation still has their problems regarding consistency and overworking their staff, especially in the making of the Spider-Verse movies, and don't get me wrong, they definitely need to treat their workers better. It has resulted in some of the most celebrated movies out there and an animation renaissance that we haven't seen in a long time in Western animation. So word of advice, watch out for the next banger to come from Sony. Okay, that about wraps up this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about K-pop Demon Hunters and any other Sony animated movie down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.